Is DLC 4 the final zombies map for Black Ops 6? This is a topic that I've seen heavily discussed on social media over the last week or two, so much so I've even had you guys comment this question in a lot of my recent videos. There are a lot of possible scenarios with this question, so I'm going to dive deep to look through all of them in this video to hopefully paint a clearer picture on what the answer to this question is right now. So let's just dive straight into it, but I'd love to know in the comments if you think we are getting another map after Janus Towers, and if so, when do you think we're going to get it? I'd love to know your thoughts down below, and to make sure you don't miss out on any future updates on whether there are more maps to come after DLC 4, then be sure to subscribe and turn on the bell to never miss an upload. Well, the short answer to this question is, well, we simply just don't know yet. In the 15-year plus history of Treyarch Zombies titles, from Black Ops 1 onwards, Treyarch has always delivered 4 DLC Zombies maps. Some would argue that Outbreak's introduction as the second DLC in Black Ops Cold War might be an exception to this rule, but nevertheless, there's always been 4 DLCs, and the release cadence so far for Black Ops 6 Zombies has been nothing short of unparalleled. Until Black Ops 6, zombie DLC maps released every 3 months or so, with a rough time frame of January, April, July, and September. But we just got DLC 3 a month ago in April, with the final season for Black Ops 6 seemingly being Season 6 according to the Black Cell XP bonuses. That season likely won't launch until the end of September. With the DLC release cadence up to now, with Season 4 just around the corner, it almost seems illogical based on what we've gotten so far that Treyarch would only release one more map within the next 5 months. So rounding all of that information up from a logical point of view, it just doesn't make sense for DLC 4 to be the final zombies map for this game if the gap in time is going to be so large. It's interesting to see this tweet from It's Perker pointing out the days between DLC releases for Black Ops 6 Zombies so far. With launch to DLC 1 being 42 days, DLC 1 to DLC 2 being 55 days, DLC 2 to DLC 3 being 65 days, and then the potential for DLC 3 to DLC 4 to be 58 days, or if it comes out with Season 4 Reloaded, to be 86 days. No matter if DLC 4 releases at the launch of Season 4 or with Season 4 Reloaded, it just doesn't make sense for Treyarch to end Black Ops 6 Zombies here when there is still so much time left before the game's life cycle ends. So what potentially could happen here? Well, there are quite a few scenarios. The first and the most exciting potential scenario is that we could potentially receive a 5th DLC map during the content year of support. It is something that Treyarch has never been able to do before, but with the 4-year development cycle, may have had enough time to make this possible. And again, depending on when we're going to be getting DLC 4, if there isn't a 5th DLC map, there is going to be at least 1, if not 2 seasons for Black Ops 6 that won't feature a brand new zombies map, which with the cadence so far just doesn't make sense. We only have one rumor so far that supports the theory of a 5th DLC, and it's via a credible Call of Duty insider on Twitter, the Ghost of Hope, who tweeted just after the release of The Tomb that there are 3 round-based maps left for Black Ops 6 Zombies. One of the future seasons will not contain a zombies map, but Black Ops 6 Zombies will end with 7 round-based maps at the end of its life cycle, meaning 2 launch maps, 5 DLC maps. Now, with any rumor that's shared on the internet, you of course want to take it with a pinch of salt. With the tweet being over 3 months old, it's unclear if this information still reigns true, if things changed behind the scenes, or if this report is even true. Until we receive Season 4 and Season 5 of Black Ops 6, we just won't know for sure. But the future seasons detail is interesting, because if true, that means that we could have DLC 4 in Season 4, a no map in Season 5, and then DLC 5 in Season 6. But similarly, we could also have Season 4 with no new zombies map, DLC 4 in Season 5, and then a 5th DLC in Season 6. But like I said, that is only one potential scenario, and I say that because there's actually quite a few conflicting reports on if DLC 4 is the final map or if it isn't the final map. So far, we've discussed the rumors of a 5th DLC map potentially happening, but there are conflicting reports on this, and this comes via another credible source who shares upcoming content found through code within the game, with Hey, I'm Alex stating at the start of May that as of right now with Season 3 Reloaded, there is still only 1 zombies map left within the game files, with no new maps planned beyond what we have for one final map in the year of support for zombies content. Glancing over the image he tweeted contains all the code names for the zombies maps in the game right now and upcoming, with Garnet and Quartz being Liberty Falls and Terminus, Bloodstone being Citadel Daymore, Opal being the Tomb, Topaz being Shattered Veil, and DLC 4, Janus Towers being labeled as Jade. Underneath it, we also have Garnet_JH, which is the same codename for Liberty Falls, but is the reference for the Jingle Hells reskin version of the map. Now, whilst this is cold, hard evidence within the game files of no more maps beyond DLC 4 existing, that is only the case for what exists within the game's code right now. A similar scenario happened during the year of support for Black Ops Cold War Zombies, where before the release of DLC 3 Mauer der Toten, that map was referenced as the final map in the Zombies content year of support. This caused a ton of conflicting reports within the community, assuming and upset that because of the introduction of Outbreak, the amount of DLC round-based maps was cut short and that Mauer was the final map. Credible insider Tom Henderson even tweeted at the time, shutting down rumors that Mauer der Toten was the final map, saying that there was one more map planned for September, and lo and behold, he was right because we got a 4th DLC with Forsaken in September. So it proves a point that whilst code within the game files that are data mined and shared by individuals is the closest thing to actual evidence to prove something, there is still a likelihood that that doesn't tell the full story. Treyarch are just one step ahead of the curve by not adding references to it into the game files just yet. But one point on this that is quite intriguing is that the code names for all the Zombies maps in the game thus far, including the upcoming DLC 4 map, were all found within a leak within the Steam depository for the game files for about an hour or so during the multiplayer beta all the way back in August of 2024. And not only was it the code names for the maps, but also the internal names for each of the maps as well. So from August 2024 all the way until current day in May 2025, Treyarch was seemingly already that far ahead in terms of the content management for Zombies in Black Ops 6. It's not out of the question to theorize that there may have been that far ahead already, but that far ahead up to DLC 4, and that this rumored 5th DLC map has also had development on it, but maybe not far enough for it to be in the game's code yet. Repeating the scenario that we saw with Black Ops Cold War and the 4th DLC map not being referenced in the code until a lot later. In my opinion, I would love nothing more than for us to get a 5th DLC map during the year of content support for Black Ops 6. Treyarch have never done it before, and just from a storyline perspective, there is so much going into Janus Towers that I just can't imagine it being enough to conclude all the build-up that the entire content season has been building up to. However, there is one massive external factor that could affect the reality of a DLC 5 in Black Ops 6 Zombies, and that's purely from the fact that rumors are Treyarch are releasing another Black Ops game at the end of this year. From a logical point of view, if Treyarch could save Zombies maps to put in that game instead of releasing more than 4 in the current game, then by all means, why wouldn't they do that? If the rumors are true that they have developed both games back to back, that is an insane amount of Zombies content to make, so much so that it almost seems unreasonable to expect a 5th DLC if Call of Duty 2025 is also going to be supported with a full year of 4 DLC Zombies maps like we've seen so far for Black Ops 6. Another point alongside Call of Duty 2025 is the marketing timeline for the game itself. For Black Ops 6 Zombies, we got the full mode reveal and Terminus gameplay, but then when we got the reveal of Liberty Falls gameplay, that aligned with the conclusion of the Modern Warfare Zombies content, with the final cutscene directly teasing Liberty Falls, which was then marketed through live gameplay several days later. It was a really clever way of marketing the upcoming game whilst also tying it into the current game, concluding that story, but also teasing that the story will continue on via the upcoming game, and with all rumors suggesting that COD 2025 Zombies will have the return of the OG premise crew. A surprise as gigantic as that just doesn't make sense to me to be marketed solely through a COD Next with trailers and gameplay and it not be at least somewhat teased as a to be continued reveal at the end of Black Ops 6. And then just like what we saw with Modern Warfare Zombies, there is every chance that that ending could then line up with the marketing for COD 2025 Zombies, which then begs the question, if DLC 4 is the final map, would we get something like that and then have a big gap in time until we got the marketing for COD 2025, or would it be almost simultaneous where it would happen and then we'd be getting all the big reveals and COD Next, which if that did happen puts us in a window between August and September, as that's when previous COD Nexts have taken place. And if DLC 4 is the final Zombies map where we do do get the conclusion and that crazy reveal, then waiting all the way until August and September just seems like way too far of a gap for that to be plausible and for there not to be another map that does that job, releasing around that time frame as a 5th DLC. Now, that is all just a theory based on the marketing timeline and windows based on previous COD NEXTs, but I'm not expecting it right up front, and we haven't seen anything credible actually pointing towards this being the case, but theorized purely from how they executed the conclusion of Modern Warfare zombies tying directly into Black Ops 6, just like we can expect to see Black Ops 6 do the same going into COD 2025. So in conclusion, is DLC 4 the final zombies map for Black Ops 6? Well, we just don't know yet. We have credible insiders saying no, that there is going to be one more map. We've got credible data miners saying that DLC 4 is the final map. Then we also have rumors of a season not having a zombies map, and then also considering how busy Treyarch must be with zombies content for COD 2025 and the potential marketing window and timeline for the end of Black Ops 6 zombies to then tease Black Ops 7 zombies. Would love to know your thoughts and theories and hopes down below in the comment section. If you enjoyed this discussion, let me know by clicking that thumbs up button, subscribe so don't miss out on any future videos on topics like this, keeping you in the know on everything zombies. And on the topic of upcoming content, we got the first tangible details of the super Easter egg rewards for Black Ops 6 zombies. So if you haven't seen that video, I guarantee you'll want to watch that. Click it on your screen right now where I'll be with you in just a moment.